Hello everyone, myself Mr. S.M. Kambri, subject teacher of digital techniques. Today we are going to discuss about overview and syllabus of the course Digital Techniques, whose course code is 22320 of third semester of the program Computer Engineering. Now looking to the next, that is course outcomes. Course outcomes is basically the knowledge you will get after the completion of the particular subject or particular course. This is like the science subject which we already taught from the standard 5th to 10th standard. After completion of single chapter in the particular science subject, at the end they are telling us about what we learn, that is आपण काय शिकलो. Like that, there are course outcomes. There are 5 course outcomes, each are representing each unit, that is each chapter. So looking to the first course outcomes, which is related to the first unit, that is number system and codes. So the first CU means first course outcome is use number system and codes for interpreting working of digital system. Here we are going to study about the whole number system. There are various types of number systems like binary, octal, decimal, hexadecimal, or etc. Also we will see here the arithmetic operations of the binary system. Binary means where 0 and 1 are included. Arithmetic operations are nothing but addition, subtraction, multiplication and divisions. Also we will see the subtractions using 1's complement, 2's complement, etc. So after completing number system and codes chapter or unit, we will able to learn the use of number system and codes for the working of digital system. Now going to the next course outcome, which is related to the unit number second, logic gate and logic families. Second COEs use Boolean expressions to realize logic circuits. Here Boolean is the name of the scientist who have discovered the logic gates, and it gives some laws by using which we will reduce or we will solve the logic problems. So in this unit or in this chapter we will see the types of various logic gates, that is basic gates or universal gate or some derived gates. After the completion of it, we will also see the Boolean laws, De Morgan's theorem, and also the logic families, that is TTL, CMOS or ECL. Okay, now going towards the third course outcome, that is build simple combinational circuits, which is related to the chapter number 3, combinational logic circuit. Here we will see the various combinational circuits such as adders, subtractors, then encoders, decoders, multiplexers, demultiplexers are the one of the most basic useful reduction technique, such as Carnot map, which is also called as K map. Now the fourth one is build simple sequential circuits. In the sequential logic circuits, there are flip-flops, there are shift registers, there are counters. So we will build some simple sequential circuits in the practicals. Also we will build some simple combinational circuits like adders, multiplexers, demultiplexers, encoders or decoders. Now looking towards the fifth, that is test data converters and PLDs in digital electronic system, which is related to the fifth chapter, that is unit number 5, data converters and PLDs. There are basically two types of data converter. One is digital to analog converter and second is analog to digital converter. Here we will also discuss about the various types of ADC, that is analog to digital converter, and various types of DAC, that is digital to analog converter. Here we will also see the memory types such as RAM, ROM, etc. Okay, now looking to the next, that is teaching and examination scheme. Our subject is having total 150 marks, in which it is further differentiated or further classified into two types, that is one is theory and second is practical. So theory includes 70 plus 30, 70 marks for the end semester exam and 30 marks for the progressive assessment, in which 30 marks is also distributed like 10 marks are for micro project assessment and 20 marks is the average of two tests to be taken during the whole semester. Now practical is 50 marks, in which 25 marks is given to the end semester exam. One of the major fact about our subject is there is external examination for the digital technique subject, and another 25 marks are for the progressive assessment. Okay, so the total marks for the particular subject is 150, out of which end semester exam is 70 marks. Now looking to the next, there is syllabus of the unit number 1, number system and codes. So this unit contains 8 marks, in which first subunit is number system. There are basically 4 types of number system. One is binary, second is octal, third is decimal, and fourth is hexadecimal. So the binary system is a system in which only the two digits are used, that is 0 or 1. Okay, decimal octal system is the system in which the number or digit that is used from 0 to 7. Now the decimal number system, it is the system in which the numbers is used from 0 to 9, and the last one, that is hexadecimal, in which the numbers are used from the 0 to 9 and A to F, that is 0 to 9 are 10 numbers and A to F are the 6 numbers. So total is hex means 6, decimal means tens, so hexadecimals are 16 number system. Okay, in the second unit we will discuss about the various arithmetic operations of the binary system. Binary means 0 or 1. Arithmetic operations are nothing but the additions, subtractions, multiplications and divisions of the binary system. Now the third subtopics is subtraction using ones and twos complement. Ones and twos complements are nothing but the method that are used while doing subtractions of the binary system. Now looking to the fourth, that is there are various codes. One is BCD. BCD is nothing but the binary coded decimal. Second is gray code. Third is XS3, and last one is ASCII code. Now in which gray code here we will perform the XOR operation. XOR operation is nothing but the, if there is 1 and its XOR is with 0, then the output is 1. If there is 0 and its XOR is with 1, is going to be with 1, then its output is 1. If the 1 XOR 1, then there is output 0. If the 0 XOR 0, then the output is 0. In the simple manner we will remember this gray code is nothing but a XOR operation. When the inputs are different like 0 1 or 1 0, then the output is 1. When the inputs are same like 1 1 or 0 0, then the output is 0. Then XS3, in which we will add the 3 number into the particular code. And now moving towards the last point of the number system and codes, that is BCD arithmetic. There is binary coded decimal. Here we can add two BCD numbers. Consider one is A and second is B. While addition of the two BCD, if the sum is less than or equal to 9 and carry is equal to 0, then the answer is correct. Here no any correction is required. The first law in the addition. The second law in the addition, if the sum is equal or less than 9 and carry is nothing but a addition is nothing but the berries, okay, and carry is nothing but the hatsa. If there is carry is equal to 1, and then in this case add 6 to get the correct answer in the output. The third law says that if sum is greater than 9 and carry is equal to 0, then add 6 to get the correct answer. We will discuss about the in detail about the basic BCD arithmetic additions rule while mm, looking towards looking into the first chapter. Okay, so don't get confused in it. Now this particular chapter contains 8 marks. This is whole about the first unit, that is number system and codes. Now looking towards the unit number 2, logic gates and logic families, which contain 12 marks. There are 3 subtopics, in which first is logic gate. Logic is the terms like which comes from the term logos, that is Greek word, means knowledge. Okay, here we discuss about the symbol, diode, transistor, switching circuit, logical expressions of basic gate, universal gate and special purpose gate. Basic gates are nothing but the AND gate, OR gate and NOT gate. Universal gates are nothing but the NAND gate and NOR gate. And special purpose gate are also called as derived gates, that is XOR gate and XNOR gate. Means logic gate are classified into 3 types. One is basic gate, second is universal gate, third is special purpose gate. Again, basic gate is classified into 3 types. One is AND, second is OR, third is NOT. Universal gate is classified into 2 types. One is NAND and second is NOR. Third, special purpose gate, which is also classified into 2 types. One is XOR, second is XNOR. Now looking towards the next, Boolean algebra. Here various laws of Boolean algebra like commutative law, associative law, AND law, OR law, double inversion law, etc. Here one is also duality theorem, and then next is De Morgan's theorem. There are 2 De Morgan's theorem which will be asked into the MSBT exams papers. Now looking towards the subtopic number 3, that is logic families. There are various definitions such as noise margin, power dissipation, figure of merit, fan in, fan out, speed of operation. Also there is comparison of various logic families, that is TTL, transistor logic, CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor, and ECL, emitter coupled logic. Also there are types of TTL NAND gate. This is whole about the unit number 2, logic gate and logic families. Now looking towards the third, unit number 3. Unit number 3, combinational logic and sequential logic circuits, which contain 18 marks, in which first subtopic is SOP and POS forms. SOP is nothing but sum of product and POS is nothing but product of sum. Here we can also see the concept of min term and max term. Min term means each individual term in the SOP form, that is sum of product form, is called as min term. Max term means each individual term in the POS form, that is product of sum form, then it is called as a max term. Means min term is related to the SOP and max term is related to the POS. Now looking to the second subtopic, that is K-map. K-map is nothing but a Carnot map. K-map is a graphical method of simplifying Boolean equation. It is a graphical chart which contain box. The information in the truth table is SOP or POS form, which is represented in the K-map. K-map, it having, if there are two variables, then 2 raised to 2 is equal to 4 boxes in the K-map. If there are 3 variables, then 2 raised to 3 is equal to 8 boxes in the K-map. If there are 4 variables, then 2 raised to 4 is equal to 16 boxes in the K-map. Means if there are 2 variables like A and B are the variables. If there are 2 variables, then 4 boxes. If there are 3 variables, that is A, B, C, then there are 8 boxes. If there are 4 variables like A, B, C, D, then there are 16 boxes. Now the third subtopic is adder and subtractor. There are various addition rules or various subtraction rules. If the input is 2, means A and B are the two inputs, then it is called as a half adder. If A and B are the two inputs for the particular subtractor, then it is called as a half subtractor. In the addition, we will represent the summation. In the subtraction, we will represent the difference. Okay, if there are 3 inputs, then like A, B, C, then the particular adder is called as a full adder. If there is 3 variables or 3 inputs A, B, C, then particular subtractor is called as a full subtractor. Now there are also various encoders or decoders. Most important encoder decoder is BCD to 7 segment display. 7 segment are nothing but the segments are nothing but the parts. 7 segments there are, in which we will display the values from 0 to 9 or any value. If the 7 segment display are connected near to each other, there are 7 parts, which is also called as A, B, C, D, E, F and G. These are total 7 parts. These are nothing but the 7 segments of the LED. Then these are all together can form the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Therefore, it will represent any arithmetic value or any alphabetical order. So therefore, this BCD to 7 segment display is very important. Now looking to the next subtopic, there is multiplexer and demultiplexer. In the multiplexer and demultiplexer, multiplexer is nothing but a combinational circuit which select one output or n data input. That means multiplexer is a circuit which has many inputs but it has only a single output, but there is some select lines. There are some types of the multiplexer such as 2:1 multiplexer, 4:1 multiplexer, 8:1 multiplexer, 16:1 multiplexer or 32:1 multiplexer. Here 2:1 in which 2 are the input, 1 is the output. In the 4:1 multiplexer, 4 is the input, 1 is the output. In the 8:1 multiplexer, 8 is the input, 1 is the output. In the 16:1 multiplexer, 16 is the input, 1 is the output. In the 32:1 multiplexer, 32 is the input and 1 is the output. Now looking to the demultiplexer, demultiplexer is exactly opposite to the multiplexer. That means it has a single input and it has many outputs and some select lines. There are some types of the demultiplexer like multiplexers: 1:2 demultiplexer, 1:4 demultiplexer, 1:8 demultiplexer, 1:16 demultiplexer, 1:32 demultiplexer, in which 1 is the input and 2 are the outputs. 1 is the input, 4 is the output, 1 is input, 8 as output, 1 as input, 16 as output, 1 as input and 32 as a output. Okay, there are also the buffers, that is tri-state logic, unidirectional and bidirectional buffers. Unidirectional means its flow is only in the single direction, and if the flow is in the both ways, then it is called as a bidirectional buffer. This is a whole about the unit number 3, that is combinational logic, which is for the 18 marks. Now unit number 4, that is sequential logic circuits, which also contain the 18 marks. There are major one difference between the combinational circuits and sequential logic circuits. In the combinational logic circuits, their clock signal is not necessary, but in sequential logic circuits there is a clock signal is necessary. In simplified manner, also memory is not necessary in the combinational circuits, but in sequential circuits memory is necessary. Okay, so the examples of the combinational circuits are the whole types, that is adder, subtractor, encoder, decoder, multiplexer and demultiplexer, and the example of the sequentials are given in the subtopics like flip-flops, shift registers, counters, etc. Now looking to the first subtopic, that is RS latch using NAND and NOR gate, that is a basic memory cell, which is also called as a flip-flop. Flip-flop is nothing but a memory storage device which will store the value of any one data. Okay, now RS is nothing but R for the reset and S for the set. So the second is triggering method. There are various triggering methods. Triggering means to turn on the flip-flops by using various methods such as edge triggering and level triggering. Okay, consider there is one mountain in which we are going to climb on it, then it is called as a edge of a particular mountain. If we will reach at the top of the mountain or at the bottom of the mountain, then it is called as a level of the mountain. Like this, the clock signal is having its edge or its level. In the edge triggering also there is two types. One is positive edge triggering and second is negative edge triggering. Similar to this, in the level triggering there are also two types. One is positive level triggering and second is negative level triggering. Now looking to the next, there are SR flip-flop. There are some drawbacks in the flip-flops such as race condition or such as no change condition. These are nothing but the drawbacks of the SR flip-flop. To minimize the drawbacks in the SR flip-flop, we will looking towards the D flip-flop. Similar to the SR flip-flop, the operation of the JK flip-flop is same. in the JK flip-flop there is also one condition which is called as a race around condition. These are nothing but the drawbacks of the JK flip-flop. The drawbacks in the JK flip-flop is shown by the T flip-flop, which is called as a toggle flip-flop. Now the next point is 4.5 shift register. There is also various types in the shift register. Shift register means data is shifted from one flip-flop to another flip-flop. Therefore it is called as a shift register. Shift means change the data, register means its storage location from one flip-flop to another. The first is SISO. SISO means serial input, serial output. Second is SIPO, means serial input, parallel output. Third is PISO, parallel input, serial output. And last is PIPO, parallel input, parallel output. And last one is universal shift register. Now looking to the last point of the fourth unit, that is counters. Counters are nothing but a watchdog timer which will see how many times the operation is going to be performed. There are two types of the counters. One is synchronous counter and second is asynchronous counter. In the synchronous counter there is clock signal is given to each and every flip-flops. In the asynchronous counter only the clock signal is given to the first flip-flop, then other flip-flops are left. There is no any connection of the clock signal. So in the synchronous counter all the particular flip-flops are working in similar manner, but in asynchronous counter they are not working in a similar manner. Okay, this is the whole about the unit number 4, sequential logic circuit. Now the last chapter, that is last unit, data converters and PLDs, which contains 14 marks. In the data converter there is DAC. DAC means data conversion from the digital to analog, that is digital to analog converter. There are various types of the digital to analog converter like weighted register circuit and R2R ladder circuit. And second type of the data converter is ADC, that is analog to digital converter. There are also two types. One is dual slope ADC and second is successive approximation ratio ADC. So this is all about the data converters. Now the second is memory, that is RAM, random access memory, and ROM, read only memory. RAM is volatile memory and ROM is permanent or non-volatile memory. RAM is temporary memory. There are some PLDs and last one is nothing but the CPLDs. Okay, here we can see the basic building blocks and functionality of the CPLDs or PLDs. Now this is all. Now here is the end of the today's session. We will conclude here. In the next lecture we will start the actual syllabus from unit number 1. That's all for the today. Thanks for the watching.